Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2021 action horror film Apex Predators, a film that is written and directed by Dustin Ferguson, and it stars Mel Novak, Marinke Stevens and Julie Ann Prescott. Right, okay, this is a shark-based film in LA, I think. It's a Wild Eye release, and I can almost sense many of you are rolling your eyes deep into your foreheads right now, as I was when I found out it was a Wild Eye release as well. Okay, so we know Wild Eye do low budget films, and this is no exception. What we get here is a series of shark attacks that take place on the local beaches that some of the locals chat about a lot, things like that, and they come up with some kind of a plan to try and take the shark, or maybe even sharks, out. Right, I'm really struggling there to tell you a plot here for this film, because there isn't one really. This is very similar to other Wild Eye releases, certainly ones I've seen recently, where the narrative and the plot is non-existent, and what we essentially get here is a series of sequences that have been edited together to give no cohesion to the film. Now, again, I've made this statement before on low budget films. This isn't a low budget film, it's a no budget film, and for that end, it kind of baffles me why you would want to make a shark movie, because you don't see any sharks in this film apart from a little bit of stock footage of a shark here and there. Strike that a minute, you do see some footage of a shark right at the end, and it's a spectacular shot. It's worth waiting for, believe me, guys. Not. So yeah, what you get instead is people on the beach or swimming in the water and then falling over awkwardly, or falling off dinghies awkwardly, to give you the illusion that they've been pulled underwater, and it's bad beyond belief, guys. You know, there is so much wrong with this film. I would be here for a fortnight if I literally listed everything. I don't know if you can see here. Those are the notes that I have made on this film. Now, normally I don't make a lot of notes on films. Not really. A couple of lines here and there just to remind myself when I'm doing a review, or just certain scenes. Generally speaking, I don't do a lot of notes. With this one, it's probably the most wrote notes I've ever written, and there's not really one positive thing here in these notes, apart from there is a DJ that pops up occasionally in the film, you know, to announce that, you know, shark attacks are taking place, etc, etc, and beaches are closed and people are investigating, and the music he plays when they leave that DJ is listenable to, I suppose. It's fairly middle of the road, toe tapping type stuff. It says a lot about this film, where, you know, the music that the DJ plays is significantly better than the movie you're watching, and that's not obviously a good thing or a good place to be. The acting is, as you could imagine, not great, and that's an understatement. There's, you know, they try and spice it up with a couple of topless scenes here and there that just come across again as cheap and unnecessary. There's even a really cringy scene where Mel Novak, who I believe was born in 1942, bless him, is, you know, making out with a much younger girl than him. That, you know, it was probably the scariest thing in the film, that scene. So yeah, you got basically, guys, you got a shark film here with no sharks. You've got a horror film with nothing scary in it. You've got potentially an action film with no action in it. You get lots of stock footage of people walking about, lots of scenes of people sat about chatting about nothing in particular, and occasionally a shark attack. And none of it makes any sense. None of it ties together. You get a film that contradicts itself. Like I say, you get a DJ announcing that the beaches are closed and the attacks are being investigated, and the very next scene you see people on the beach and in the water, being, falling off dinghies awkwardly. It's an appalling film. There's very little I could say that is positive about this film, apart from it's arguably the worst, but at the same time the best film I've seen for years. And by that I mean you can put this on with your mates, crack open a few beers, get some pizzas ordered, get together after the restrictions have lifted next week in the UK, get this film on, and I'm not kidding guys, you'll have the best time watching this film, because it is awful in a really, really good way. It's not self-aware. It's not trying to be awful. That's what makes it so awful. It's trying to be taken seriously. So it's bad, boys and girls. It's really, really bad. It's probably the worst film I've seen for maybe a couple of years. And it's a 2 out of 10 from me. It is one to massively avoid unless you want to partake in the activities I mentioned in regards to cracking open the beers and ordering the pizzas and having a good giggle. But it is worth it alone for the final shot of the film. When I saw it and it choked on my drink, I laughed that much. So yeah, guys, that is Apex Predators. An absolute, I don't know. I've no more words for it, to be honest. So yeah, I hope you found this review entertaining and useful. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back, obviously, with more content on the channel very, very soon.